company, if you owned a landscaping company, would you hire somebody else to mow your grass, or would you get your company to mow your grass? If you're smart, you get your company to mow your grass. Well, for 18 years now, my wife and I have been buying everything we can from our business versus their business. And so if a company partners with Amway, that means they're partnering with me. That means they're partnering with you if you're a part of our network. And you go to your website, and now you can go to Best Buy and buy anything Best Buy has on their website. Now you can go to Cabela's. Any people like fishing or hunting? Okay, you say, you do not, JB. You're from Massachusetts, man. Y'all can't even have guns up there. So our Bass Pro Shops or the North Face or Home Depot, all these places where, here's what I believe, the rest of your life, you are going to spend money at these places. And so it always cracks me up when people tell me, man, are you sure this is legit? Like, well, I quit my job 5 years ago, but you don't know me, and I could be lying, right? You could Google me, but still you don't know, right? But if Best Buy thinks it's good, maybe you have more attorneys working for you than Best Buy does, and all your attorneys can do their due diligence. It's all good. Or if Apple's working with us, or Home Depot, all these different companies, here's what that did for me. It set me at ease because I realized these are all places I'm familiar with already, and I'm just going to change my buying habits. I won't go to Lowe's anymore. I'll go to Home Depot. You know why? Because Home Depot pays us back for shopping there. To me, that's common sense. And so that's the first thing we do. Now, we also have some products that Amway manufactures and some different companies they bought that we have exclusive agreements with. Because you don't have to go through your website to go to Best Buy, because y'all have gone to Best Buy before. But we have other stuff that's exclusive that you can only get through our websites. And, you know, this is a dumb question, but how many of you guys would like to be healthier? Now, I don't mean you're going to do anything about it. Right, but if there was a button here and you could hit the I want to be healthier button or I want to not be healthier button, I think we'd all hit that, unless your life just sucks and you hate it. I think for everybody else, you'd be like, well, I'd like to be healthier. I mean, I don't want to eat kale, but I would like to be healthier. Y'all ever tried kale? It's terrible, right? Listen, my wife and I, we have a great marriage, but we almost didn't stay married. This was about a few months ago. I came downstairs early. 9:30. I came downstairs and she's hiding something behind her back, and I realized she was hiding kale that she'd been mixing up in the smoothies that she was making me, trying to make me hit the healthier button. I was like, this is no more. I cannot trust anything you're cooking in the morning. So we have some really, really good health and nutrition products. Really, really great stuff. As a matter of fact, I'm the type of person, I want to be healthy, but it does have to taste good. Y'all the same way? I mean, I know I want to eat better, but if it tastes bad, I don't care. I'm just not gonna. Our protein shakes that we have, and I won't go through every little product, but the protein shakes that we have are so good. Have any of you guys tried the chocolate protein shakes that we have on our website? Some of y'all tried them. Literally every morning I mix a little bit of water in with this powder, have a little hand mixer thing, and I don't have to worry about kale being in there because I mixed it my own self. And listen, I got paid for that. I got paid for drinking my own smoothie in the morning, minus the kale. And so, you know, whether it's vitamins, whether it's protein stuff, whether it's household cleaners. See, that's what Amway started with, was household cleaners and that type of stuff. I didn't know anything about that. And who was in college again? You will buy no household cleaners. Well, you're like, no, man, we don't clean. We move out. We go to the next place. Right? I'll just say the damage you bought. And so you won't worry about all that. But you're going to be buying this other stuff, listen, for the rest of your life. A lot of y'all are already buying energy drinks and that kind of stuff. Why not buy it from your own business versus someone else's business? That's the first thing. First thing you'll do is buy your own stuff. The second thing you'll do is have some customers. So you may say, man, I'm not really that into selling. Listen, you've referred people to other companies before. I've done it, you've done it, and listen, we will do it forever. Did any of you guys see that movie, It? Stephen King movie? It was a pretty cool movie, right? Some of y'all didn't see it? Seriously? Y'all don't like scary movies? Okay, I don't either, but I saw it anyway. And so when I was a kid, I read all those books and all that sort of stuff, so I was so excited about this movie coming out. My 15-year-old son even talked me into taking him. As a matter of fact, I know I shouldn't have, but I did. And so it was one of my proudest parenting moments because he went to see the movie, he was terrified, and he went up that night to take a shower, and my wife and I took a red balloon and tied it to his desk in his room, and so we're at the bottom of our steps just waiting and watching for for him to go across. And seriously, I know it's not right, but I am so proud of myself. And to have a 15-year-old boy he's all buff and struts, and you know how you were when you were 15. And so but he strutted really quickly out of his room when he saw the red balloon. He thought, Pennywise or whatever was coming to get him. And so why do I say that? Because I saw that movie. I've told other people about it. You've done the same thing. And by the way, you want to talk about residual income, ongoing revenue? Stephen King wrote that book over 40 years ago. Over 40 years ago. And he sold millions of them then. And they had a movie then. He made money off that movie. Then they did a new movie. Every single ticket that was purchased, he made money off that from something he did 40 years ago. Now, how many of y'all were negative years 40 years ago? Like all of you. I was 3. Right, I was 3. So I wasn't doing a whole lot for money 40 years ago that I'm getting paid on right now. But that's the type of income we're talking about. But you've done it forever. You've recommended stuff to people. You said, hey man, check out this restaurant. Hey, I found a good deal on gas. Whatever it is. And you've never ever gotten paid back for it. All I'm talking about tonight is buy your own stuff and have some customers. And the third thing we're going to show you how to do is how to develop a team of people. How to develop a team of people, and you've done that for other places too. Some of you guys are at a college, and you've recommended other people to go to your college. You got your friends that were a year younger. You, man, come here. It's awesome. You're having fun. You can stay with me. And they're paying 40 grand or 30 grand or whatever it costs, and you didn't even get a free t-shirt out of it, right? We do that all the time. You just haven't figured out a way to get paid for it. So tonight I'm going to show you how we get paid for it. But some of y'all have heard of Amway because you watch NBA basketball. Any NBA fans out there? So the guy that founded Amway, his name is Rich DeVos. He wrote a check for the Orlando Magic several years ago when they just started. And here's what he said. Billionaires think differently than some of us, I guess. He said, hey, man, my family needed a hobby. We needed a hobby, something to do together. And now I'm thinking, man, my sister and I, we threw rocks at each other. I don't know. Everybody's different, but it's not like we didn't come from money, obviously. But that's what they did. But here's what I love about this slide. It's not the fact that, since Amway, the guy that founded it, owns a team, he put their name on the side. That's kind of cool. But it's this part right here. It's since 1959, they've paid out $53 billion in bonuses. 53 billion. When I saw that, I'm like, man, I wish my parents would have gotten in back in the day, because I'd like a tiny little percentage of that over the last lots and lots of years. But here's what I'll tell you, that's not going to decrease. I'm going to show you tonight our comp plan, but they just increased our comp plan to the richest it's ever been this year. But based on the same business as last year, we'll make another $30,000 or $40,000 if our business didn't even grow. And it is. But if it didn't even grow, we make an extra 30 or 40 grand just because they increased the comp plan. Now listen, every company I've ever worked for in sales, they've never increased the comp plan. Like I go and work for a company, make a bunch of money, the next year say, hey, we got a new comp plan. And it would never be better. They say it's new and it's great, but it would always be you sell the same amount as last year, you make less. And so anyway, I'll go through this as we go through here. But here's the 4 concerns everybody has. Any business you'll ever start, these are going to be the 4 things. Now, if you're looking at a traditional business, that top left one, that's way higher, right? Because if you're looking at a traditional company where you got to have a building, you got to have all this investment and all that, $220 is a joke. Now, I know if you're in school, you're like, yeah, man, but it's still a couple $100. I get you. And I felt the same way when I was getting my business started, when we had student loans and credit card debt, and I wasn't trying to spend extra money on something if it wasn't legit. But here's what set me at ease with that, the fact that there was a 90-day money-back guarantee. So, when we get back together and catch back over the next few days or next few weeks, if you decide, hey, this is going to work out, it's going to be a mutually beneficial relationship, and you get your business started, within 90 days, if you're not satisfied, you can get your money back. Nobody here makes any money off signing you up. Now, if you like that kind of business, just go on Facebook. You can find lots of businesses where people make money off signing you up. There's people trying to sell me yoga pants every day on Facebook. I know I look good in yoga pants. I just haven't made the jump yet to buy them and wear them in front of you. Just at home. There's nothing wrong with that, right? But I haven't made the jump to do all that. But whether you want to buy candles or oils or all this sort of stuff, there's people trying to sell you on that on Facebook all day long. That's not what we do. That we don't make money off signing people up. If we did, we'd probably try to sign you up tonight. Here's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for long-term business partnerships with people that want to create long-term wealth. If you need to make money tomorrow, that's great. You need to get a job or drive Uber or something like that. If you want to create long-term wealth, that's what we specialize in. I show people how to start companies and make lots of money. And we got our business started. It was like $170 to get started, several years ago. But that 90-day money-back guarantee is what set me at ease. Because you guys know, have you ever made a decision that you regretted? Have you ever been in a relationship that within less than 90 days you knew it was not going to go so good? Like, first time you went out, you're like, ugh, no, this ain't. And if you have enough of those, maybe you're the problem, right? We know that too. But what I loved was I could do this whenever I wanted to. It wasn't like a job. And so a lot of you guys are busy. At least I hope you're busy. If you're not busy doing something, you're probably not doing much. And so a lot of y'all are really busy. You're trying to manage your time. Well, one of my really close friends, he's a colonel in the Army, works at the Pentagon, or worked. He just retired. But he's also a medical doctor. And when he got started in business with us, he was doing his residency. And I asked him, I said, George, man, how do you even have time for something else? Because that's truly busy, right? I know you're busy, I'm busy, but when you're talking about I'm in the Army and I'm a colonel in the military, that's crazy busy, right? And he said, Alex, I just figure anytime I have, I'm going to invest in something that can pay me long term versus wasting my time. When he was in his residency, some weeks I have an hour or two. Some weeks he had a little bit more, but he just invested with us, and now for years, he's created residual six-figure income with us doing this, outside of his military pension, which is pretty good if you retire as a colonel, outside of being a medical doctor. He has a residual six-figure income doing this. And so, anyway, we've all got 24 hours in a day, but really what I liked was this. Because, man, I tried lots of things. I was trying to succeed in multiple different ways, and I never truly had somebody to help me. I had people that said they were going to, but the truth of the matter was they weren't that successful. It's great to have somebody that'll give you advice, but, man, if they're not in a life where you want to be, is that really the advice you want to take? It's kind of like taking a business class from a college professor that's never owned a business. That doesn't make sense. Or if y'all ever taken entrepreneurship classes? Well, the person teaching you could be an entrepreneur because they're sitting there teaching you. An entrepreneur is being an entrepreneur, right? So I wanted to have somebody that had expertise that was really successful that was going to help me with that. And so I'm going to go through a couple different phases. And I'm going to go through our comp plan. Now, and maybe are some of you guys like engineering, math brain people? Some of you are. And so I know Andrew is, right? And Michael is. He majored in finance and all that sort of stuff. So for some of you guys, these numbers will make a lot of sense. And we're going to send you an app that goes through all of them. So when you go home tonight, you can really study up on them. For others of you guys, maybe you're, more psychology or history majors or something like that. So you need a story. And I'll try to tell you a story as we go through this, but I'll still send you the app, and that way you can go through it to make sure it all makes some sense to you and that kind of stuff. But this is what we're going to show you how to do. And I'm going to introduce you to several people in the room that have done this. So it's not just my wife and I. You're allowed to graduate from multiple colleges like she did. You're allowed to have a huge family like the Phelps do. Everybody's background is different, but there's a lot of people that have made a lot of long-term money doing this. And so I'm just going to show you this first step. And this is you. Now, I know you have a nice neck, and that person is necklace, and you wouldn't wear a white belt because it's after September. I get it, I know. But I'm going to show you, this is your website. And we're going to show you how to get volume going through your website. And remember, there's two ways you get volume going through your website. The first way is you buy your own stuff. The second way is you have some customers. And I'm not going to help you buy your own stuff. I hope y'all good at that. You bought your own stuff before. Does somebody have to hold your hand walking through Walmart? If they do, I'm sure there's a business for you, but it's not this one. And so we're going to let you buy your own stuff, whatever you need, right? Because everybody's different. I'm married, got a dog, got a bigger house I used to have, so it takes more. We have to have more stuff, right? If you're single, you would buy less stuff. The same way you do it at Target or at Costco or any place else. Buy whatever you want to buy. Have however many customers you want to have. These numbers I'm going to share with you tonight, though, are based on this. They're based on your website doing about $450. $450, not $40,000, not like you start a restaurant and now you got to have hundreds of customers on a daily basis just to keep the lights on and the insurance bills paid and all that. We're talking about your website doing $450. And this shows 150 PV, 1 PV equals 3. Some of y'all are tech grads, so 3 times 150, carry the 1 is $450, right? So we're talking about your website, and I know you say, well, man, what's up with this weird ratio? Well, see, we don't just have business in the States. We have business in Canada. The money is different there, right? We have business in India. We have business in Australia, all over the world. And so same comp plan, but different points to dollars. Because maybe it's rupees if it's people in India that are doing this. You get the idea, right? So it'd be about 3 million pesos would equal 1 PV, I suppose. So anyway, it's all different. But if all you did was $450 going through your website, you'd make about 120 bucks. And so, don't quit your job. And if you can quit your job, get a better job. Because, man, there's a lot of good things you can do out there where you can make more money. But think about this. All you did was something you're already doing, and you're doing it for free currently. You bought some stuff. You bought things you're going to use anyway. You had a few customers, and you made $120, listen to me, with hardly any overhead. But here's the next step. All we're going to do is help you develop a team. And this is the part that you will need our help with. I don't really think you'll need much help with buying your own stuff and getting a few customers, although we will. But you're going to need some help because we've been doing this for a long time, and we know how to get you to find people that are going to be a good fit for us. Listen, we're not looking for everybody. Some people are, they're just, that's not for them. They're like, I'm okay with working. I want to work a job forever. I don't want to travel. Or they like what they're doing so much, they want to keep that. That's totally cool. Or there's other businesses. I don't care. But we're going to help you find different people that are a good fit for what we're doing. And so, but in this example, these are 6 different people you know. Now, they can live in Roanoke, but how many of you guys live in Roanoke? Okay, so like 12 of you out of the 80 that are in here. So there's people kind of from within 45 minutes or an hour from here that are here. And so these people can live anywhere. They can live in Richmond where I am. They can live in Charlottesville. They can live in California. We have a huge team of people down in Dallas, Texas, which you've never been to Texas, man, you should go. It's a great place, especially Austin. If you ever want a fun place to go in Texas, man, go to Austin. It's a wonderful place. But whether it's Ohio, we have a big team of people in Cleveland. That's not really a wonderful place, but if you can make money by going there, by all means, go there, other than basketball season. And so, but anyway, these are 6 people you know that can live anywhere. And we're going to help you explain this idea to make sure these are the people that are the right people that we're looking for. But when they get their website started, here's what happens, is they put in your information. They put in your name, they put in your user ID, your password, and here's what Amway knows. They know that you referred them. And you make no money for signing them up, but here's how you make money. Forever, as long as volume goes through these businesses, you make money. Not one time, forever, over and over and over. See, what we're looking for here isn't making $1,000 this month. It's in 5 years having residual $100,000, $200,000, $500,000 a year income. It's the long-term wealth, not short-term money. Jobs are for that. And so if you help 6 people get their own business started and they're doing about $450 of volume, you're not going to be rich, but you're making about $350. And that's not a lot, but if we annualize that, that is $4,200 a year. And there's a lot of people out there, that are working, making 50 grand that have no chance of getting an 8% raise this year. I remember sitting there across from a boss, and they have the year-end review. You guys ever had a year-end review? And they're sitting there, a stack of papers, and they're flipping through them. Jason, you do this to people all the time, because he runs a big construction company up in Richmond. And you sit there, and you got your stack of papers, and they're flipping through them. And they don't care what you're saying. They're not even listening. They want to know that last page, what's my percentage raise? Because I remember I'd sit there and be like, does not play well with others, I feel like I'm back in kindergarten, was tardy 9 times or whatever. All I cared about was what's that raise. And there's many times different companies I worked for were like, hey, listen, this year everybody's getting a 2% raise, but good news, you get to keep your job. Happens all the time. And what I love is being able, outside of my job, I love being able to create my own raise. Being able to create as much money as I wanted to create that was based on me, not somebody else telling me. Make sense? And so here's how this would work. You got 6 people here. If they all talk to 4, now you have a team of about 30. Not 300, just a team of about 30 people. You knew 6 of them. They knew other people. Everybody takes the money they were spending at someone else's business, and now each one of these people, they buy things from themselves. There's so many people out there, they just want to own their life. They just want to be free and flexible and have options to do what they want to do every single day instead of somebody else telling them. And this is a low-cost way that everybody can be an entrepreneur. It's just we don't help everybody because we're looking for really ambitious people. Well, in this example, you make about $1,700. And here's what I found for most people. You start making an extra $1,500 to $2,000, that makes a huge difference in people's lives. Because for a lot of people, that's their biggest bill. That's their mortgage, or that's a couple car payments, or student loans, or whatever it is. That's their biggest bill, and now they don't have to worry about that. It takes a huge amount of stress. I know for my wife and I guess it was about 15 years ago, where we wrote our last check for any debt that we ever had, and we were by no means wealthy, but my gosh, we owned our junk that we had instead of the bank owning it. Instead of paying interest, we started the process of now we made interest. See, a lot of people are just trying to just get back to zero, and we hit this level, not a ton of money, but we're able to start moving forward versus treading water. And here's the next step, and lots of people, or several people in this room have done this, where these people help 2 people, and now you have about 80 people on your team. And it definitely wouldn't just be here in Roanoke, man. It may be in Charlottesville. It may be in Johnson City, Tennessee. It may be in Knoxville, Charlotte, wherever. But now you have about 80 people as part of your team. You're up there at the top of that bonus scale, and you make around $3,900. Now, how long should that take? Well, I'll tell you my story. There's a guy in the room that he did this way faster. JB's the man over there. We'll get him to say hey to you guys in a minute. But for me, my first year of doing this, we didn't make very much money. And I go, how much is not very much? I don't know, $2,000 or $3,000 or $4,000, not very much. Our second year, not a month, the year. But we had jobs, so it's not like we were starving. Our second year, we didn't make very much either. Maybe $4,000 or $5,000 for the whole year. But our third year, we made an extra $60,000 doing this, and 6 months after that, we had doubled that, and that was 15 years ago. And so, in a galaxy far, far away, a long, long time ago, right? And so, I don't know how long it'll take you to put this together, but here's what I can tell you. Once you do it, it comes in over and over and over again. And so how many of you guys have hit this level? Hit the 7,500 point level? JB, you have. Jason, you guys have. Could you guys just stand up real fast and tell these guys your background?
Sure. Yeah. Hi, guys. I'm Jonathan Benjamin. I live in Richmond now. I'm originally from Rochester, New York. And I came down to play basketball at University of Richmond, and I work in consulting. And I've been a part of the business for about 4 years.
Okay. And so, JB, your first year, how much did you make with us? Do you remember?
Right. Just like you, right around, my first full year made right around $11,000.
Okay. So that's actually way better than me, my first year. How about your second year? How'd you do?
Second year, right around $25,000.
Okay.
And then this year, right around $7,000.
And so we get year-end bonuses like next week, maybe?
Yep.
What will your year-end bonus be?
It'll be $20,000, so the month will be right around $25,000.
And how old are you?
I'm 26.
Okay, 20. So you got started fresh out of college.
Right out of school.
You worked hard for 3 or 4 years. Listen, you'll do something the rest of your life working hard. You realize that? And you'll have to keep doing it over and over and over, just like I was keeping doing. Just like right now as a consultant, you're working hard doing that. But what he's doing now is he's creating something where he won't have to do that forever. Great job. So are you going to take me out to dinner at least with all this money? Yeah, okay, got it. Okay. How about you, Jason? How about you guys?
We're Jason and Amy Phelps out of Charlottesville, Virginia. I work for the Department of Defense full-time in federal law. She was a school teacher. After about 3 years in the business, we replaced her income as a teacher. I was making decent money with the government, but I was basically working 2 jobs, 70 to 80 hours a week is what it seemed like. About 2 years away from replacing a pretty strong 6-figure income with them. We have 8 kids, so that's why it's taken us a little longer. We've got a few distractions running around the house. But,
wow. I thought I was busy with 2 kids. Y'all know how that happens? Y'all figured that out?
Not yet.
You don't know? Okay, got it. Well, probably 9 is on the way. I'm just saying. So 8 kids working 70-some hours a week. And so you guys, you're getting a big year-end bonus coming up this next week. What will you guys get?
Yeah, October will be about $25,000 as well.
Okay.
The coolest part is our 22-year-old son's about to complete that first project, and he'll have an asset worth well over $60,000 this year as well.
Nice. That is awesome. And so it's true family business. And so my kids, once they get 18, I'm sure I hope they'll be as successful as your kids for sure. But that's what we do. And it took a little while to put this together, but once we had it, came in over and over and over. In October, we've gotten a year-end bonus of at least $20,000 for 15 years now. Some years it's been a lot more, like $80,000 or $90,000 or 40 or 50. 3 or 4 times what my wife used to make teaching school just in 1 month. And you say, well, man, that's great for you. I'm not talking about me. We just did what this team taught us. A group of successful entrepreneurs coached and mentored us. And we said, hey, I'll listen to them because they were already in life where I wanted to be. Well, I'm going to show you real fast how things keep moving forward. And I don't even know what time it is. My wife got me this new, it's good. Got me a new watch. You guys shake your wrist. Oh no, there we go. Jason, you texted me. Got it. Okay, good. He said hurry. And so I'm going to show you kind of some long-term income. And for some of you guys, I don't know your background. Everybody's different. Some people are like, man, there's no way. That's not even possible. When I saw this, I didn't know if I could do it, but I sure did like that there were some long-term options. I worked at some really great companies where I kind of had a career path. You ever work for a company where they said, hey man, here's your career? Now, I've also worked for companies where what I was currently doing was my career path. I used to drive a forklift for companies, and guess what? That was the beginning and the ending of my career. If I want to do that, I was going to do that forever. I've worked at Sam's Club, being the guy at the door saying, let me see your membership. So I've worked those kind of jobs, but I've also worked fancy jobs where, hey, you had a mentor and a career path. And so I like the fact that you can make a lot of money doing this. And here's how simple this is. This is helping 3 of your friends. 3 of your friends making an extra $50,000 to $70,000. Help 3 of your friends do that. And the reason why I'm down here tonight is I'm helping Jason do that. I'm helping Michael do that. And I'm helping Andrew do that. I'm helping all of them do that this year. That's why I'm down here hanging out instead of watching Jerry Springer tonight at my house. I mean, it's a big struggle. And so we've already helped 3 people do that, but I'm helping those guys do it as well. But when you help 3 people make an extra 50 or 60 grand, you'll make over $150,000 a year. Over and over and over and over. And I don't know what that would do for you, but here's what it did for my wife and I. It got us to pay off all of the stuff that we had, and we got to buy our lives back. What I mean by that is now today, we do anything that we want to do every single day. Now, we're not rich like somebody on MTV or MTV Cribs. That's not how our house is. But, man, we get to do anything we want to do. Other than once we get our kids to school in the morning, we literally can go back to bed like we did today for 2 or 3 hours. We could go to the gym, which we did not do today. But I'm sure tomorrow that'll be on the schedule. But she'll sneak Kale into my life and then do that. But let's say that you had that coming in. What would you do? What would you do with your time? See, here's what I know. Most people never even thought about that. If I took your phone and started scrolling back through this past year, did you have fun? Did you enjoy life, or is it a grind? See, I don't think life's supposed to be a grind. And I know sometimes if you're 18, 19, 20, 21, you're like, man, I got this whole big life ahead of me. And then by the time people are 23 or 24, they're so tired and so cynical. And they're like, man, I just got to keep working, Well, what if you had enough money coming in and you could do anything you want to do? Here's what I choose to do. I don't want to watch the world on my phone. I want to see it with my eyes. I don't want to see it on a computer screen. I want to travel and see it myself. And so I just went through, man, what have we done over the past 12 months? Well, in January, a bunch of me and my business partners were in Montana snowmobiling. Have y'all ever been snowmobiling? Listen, I like the South. I like beaches. That's kind of more how I'm wired. And they said, man, you want to come to Montana and snowmobile? I said, well, I mean, sure, I guess. But I said, what's the temperature? Well, it's minus 24 yesterday. And I'm like, They said, but these snowmobiles go 84 miles an hour. And I said, well, sign me up, because I'm an adrenaline junkie. I don't know if you guys are, but I'm an absolute adrenaline junkie. And so this was on I think it was a Tuesday morning, about 11 a.m. It's the Grand Teton Mountains in the background, the Continental Divide's below us. And I'm just like, my gosh, I would be at a job talking about, got to sell this, got to do this, where I got to fly tomorrow. And instead, we're at the top of a mountain. But maybe that's not your thing. And then we're in Jamaica after that. Jason, you were there with us, right? Michael, I think, and Andrew, all 3 of you guys were there. Awesome. And so we were in Jamaica hanging out for, I don't know, not for weeks, but for 4 or 5 days, or I don't remember. Have y'all been to Jamaica? This was Montego Bay? I think so. But while we were there, we went to some place where you can jump off those cliffs. Yeah, we went up to Negril. Have you jumped off those cliffs before? Oh my gosh. It is, now if you hate heights, you need to overcome that fear and go up to Negril with us next time. But it's like 30 or 40 feet high cliffs, jumping into the clearest water, and you're just chilling there, man. It's like, is this really what we get to do instead of having to work a job? This is incredible. And then my wife and I were in Australia, and now I know most of you guys don't like tennis. JB does, and he smirks every time I say anything about tennis because he beat me the one time we played. And so he's like, yeah, I like tennis too, Alex. But so, I mean, I like playing tennis. I used to play a lot as a kid, and one of my goals has been to go to all the Grand Slams. And so we got invited to speak over in Australia for a couple of weeks. And while we were there, they said, hey, man, we got you guys tickets. We heard you like tennis, and here's some tickets to the men's final of the Australian Open, right there in center court. And I'm just glad we didn't have to pay for them because they were like $1,500 a pop. But I don't know, man, just being on the other side of the world having fun. Those are two of my business coaches. He used to be a UPS driver. Now he's a multi-millionaire, retired when he was 29 years old. He turned 61 this year. So 32 years that he hasn't worked a job. And we were down in Mexico not too long ago. That's one of the 7 wonders of the world. Not my physique. I know y'all were thinking that. But the actual stone structure behind it, Chichen Itza. And I don't know about you, man, but I want to see it. I want to smell it. I want to see what stuff looks like instead of just looking at my phone at it like most people do, I think. That's me and Laura hanging out on whatever day of the week that was because it just doesn't matter. Some of y'all like baseball. My dad, 50 years ago, had gone to his first and only Major League game. And he had told me, yeah, I went to see the Red Sox play about 50 years ago. I said, we're going back this summer. And he said, oh, no, it's too far of a drive. I said, I know, we already bought plane tickets. And he said, where are we going to stay? I said, I got a hotel room, a suite right beside Fenway. He said, do you have tickets? I said, no, but I know the guy that knows the owner, and we're going to sit in the owner's seats and for free. And we're going to be on the field. And so my dad thought we were going to get arrested the whole time. My son's a basketball player, didn't even know how many innings are in a game. And we're sitting on top of the ring monster, sitting in the owner's seats, meeting the players. And, some people say money's wrong. And I'll just tell you, the memories that I got to make with my dad 50 years after his first and only baseball game, just hanging out, getting to hear stories of, I don't know, you can say what you want to about money. I think it's for this. It's to help you create memories, to be able to do what you want to do. And anyway, that was my son's birthday not this year, because now he's as tall as I am and I can't jump that high anymore. But we were hanging out at the Atlantis down there for his birthday. I don't know what y'all did when you were 14 for your birthday. I didn't go to Atlantis though. It was more like, hey, here's the cake. It's in the shape of whatever number you are. Did y'all's parents do that? Like when you're 8, it was an 8 with little race cars on it. When I was 14, I don't know. That's just not how I was raised, man. I was raised that whatever you ask for, the answer is no because it costs too much. Even if it's like, could I have an extra piece of bread? No, it costs too much. It didn't matter, right? And so, anyway, he doesn't understand that. But this is Wakeboard Wednesday. Now, I was in college. It was waking something else in the morning or whatever. But some of y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all should not. You should not know that stuff. But Wakeboard Wednesday, man, you ever go on the lake on a Saturday? And it's like you're taking your life in your own hands because there's so many people. You better be a good wakeboarder because you're going to get run over if you're in the water. That's a Wednesday. That's because we own something. It doesn't, whatever you do, it doesn't have to be this. But my gosh, own something instead of work for other people so you can be free. So you can do what you want to do instead of what other people say you have to do. And I got a cubicle too. That's my cubicle. This happens to be, by our pool. That's Elizabeth. That's Adam. He's camera shy there. But, sometimes you don't even know what your life's going to bring. My daughter has some special needs, and she goes to the best private school you can go to. People that are wealthy move to our city so their kids can go to the school that she goes to. And the only bad thing about it is it's $6,000 a month to send your kid to this school. And she's been there since kindergarten because where she now, you say, hey, you're not Mr. Education. I know, it's just where she needs to go. But there's so many kids out there and so many families that can't do what they need to do for their family. And one of our goals is to be successful enough that we can start foundations and scholarships and things like that for other kids that need that help. And everybody's different though. Some of y'all are like, man, just give me a fast car and I want to go race. Well, we did that this past November too, because I'm all into that too. These are some of our friends. We're out in Los Angeles. Me and my buddy Christian from Dallas, who rented that McLaren. That's Brian, one of my best friends from a long time ago. And Manny, he was going hunting after that, I think, so he was wearing that orange vest. But he got started in business with our team when he was 19. He's 26 now. He'll make over $250,000 this year. He's totally debt free. Got 6 figures in the bank. He could buy that Lamborghini if he wanted to. It wouldn't be a smart financial decision. But it's just a bunch of friends, man, racing through Las Vegas on a Monday morning. I don't know. It's just, I never thought I could live like that, being able to do what I want to do every single day. And I couldn't have if a team of people didn't show me how to do it. And so that's what we do now. We go all over the place and coach people, show them how to do it. When you help 6 people make an extra 50 to 60 grand, you'd make even more. You can probably guess if you help 10 people succeed, you'd make even more.